Good morning, everybody. This is Paul here with the National Weather Service. If someone could type into the questions area that they can hear me and they can see my first slide, I'd appreciate it. All right, thank you guys, appreciate it. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. Okay, everybody, it is 9 a.m. I am Paul Ura. I'm the warning coordination meteorologist here at the National Weather Service office in Austin, San Antonio. And today is the 9 a.m. Monday, April 8th briefing. It is our last briefing on the eclipse weather that's expected. This is being recorded. We are going to be sending out copies of the recording and the slides to those that are on the partner email list. For those of you that are not on the partner email list that typically get our situation reports, the briefing slides will actually get posted up on our news headlines on the front page of our weather.gov/EWX website, as well as actually we upload it to YouTube. The actual recording actually goes onto our YouTube channel. So the important updates, a few adjustments are actually made to the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, not only today, but especially for tomorrow. We'll talk about that. And of course, this is the last webinar briefing. So overall, the forecast is actually kind of worked out kind of like what we were expecting as of so far. So this was just kind of our schedule of eclipse briefings. As you can see, this is the last scheduled webinar. There are going to be some partner emails that go out over the next couple of days, just mainly because of the severe weather chances. But as far as a webinar that you're viewing right now, this will be the actual last one. So what are some of the weather main points for today? Well, the moisture has returned. If you remember yesterday, we kind of got that weak cold front come through / dry line and made yesterday evening very, very pleasant across the area. Well, all that changed overnight, like as expected. South winds returned, and man, so did the humidity. So that has also brought back all the clouds as we had kind of forecast. We still have medium to high confidence in the forecast of cloud cover and rain chances today, with mostly cloudy skies, some isolated morning showers. I know when I drove into work today, had to use the windshield wipers a couple of times with just some drizzle, a light little rain shower. That trend will continue this afternoon with some scattered afternoon showers and even some this morning, very, very light things. And then as the afternoon progresses, the isolated storm kind of potential gets in there, and actually even some severe storm potential, especially across our northern portion of the area. That's going to be mainly after eclipse time, though. So we think it's going to be mainly an egress issue for this afternoon and evening. And then there is a potential for storms causing bigger egress issues tomorrow for travelers and visitors leaving Tuesday and Tuesday night, and maybe even lingering all the way through Wednesday morning. So we'll kind of talk about those scenarios. Here was one of the latest satellite images that I captured off about 30 minutes ago or so. You can see plenty of high clouds kind of streaming across. Underneath this, there's actually a bunch of low clouds as well. And at the very end, I'm going to try to switch screens a little bit and give you a live feed loop so you can kind of see a little bit better of what the clouds are kind of doing. So I'll kind of show that and probably the radar as well. Here's kind of a broader scale. The NWS folks, the satellite groups, have actually put in the path of totality on the map here. You can kind of barely see it, so you have an idea of kind of where the good areas of viewing are right now and where the bad areas are. The bad areas right now are in Texas. The better areas are actually up in Arkansas, southern Missouri, and it looks like even parts of Indiana and far western Ohio, as well as portions of the northern New England states way up there. But this big arrow represents all the moisture kind of streaming in from the southwest like we had anticipated, and sure enough, it is happening. And as the upper level storm system is way out to our west still. Here's kind of what the surface map looks like, analyzed basically over the last hour. This warm front over Texas has pushed further north. Again, that cold front pushed through yesterday, but as it didn't, has now retreated back northward, and thus we're in the soup. All the humidity has returned along with the low clouds. The upper level storm system and this front that's in the panhandle will actually be causing a lot of our weather for tomorrow and tomorrow night as it kind of approaches. So what about the rain chances today? Not a whole lot of actual rain falling in the rain gauge, but we do kind of think that a few hundredths to maybe a couple tenths of an inch are kind of maybe the maximum that we'll kind of see. But kind of more nuisance type stuff all day today, we think, especially as we get into the afternoon hours where these showers maybe kind of pop up, especially in this area here to the north and northeast of Interstate 35, our highest chances of rain, upwards of 60 and 70%. As you can see, farther to the west and southwest, very little chance of actual rainfall. Into the hill country, anywhere between kind of 30 and 50% chance in the actual hill country. Again, we think mainly most of this is going to be in the afternoon as far as anything I would say significant, as far as getting some actual rain to make puddles and wet the ground and so forth. But throughout this morning, just lingering kind of nuisance sort of stuff maybe passing by, just adding to some complications of cloud cover, but then also wet ground, etc. So what are the severe weather chances today? As you can see on the map on the far left here, Storm Prediction Center has drawn in a level 2 out of 5 area, what we call the slight risk area, across much of our jurisdiction, except for the very far west. The majority of what you see here in yellow, or in the number 2 risk area, is mainly going to be kind of in the late evening hours. For the pure afternoon of when the eclipse is going, we really kind of think the only area that may be really susceptible for thunderstorms would be kind of the east and this northeast corridor, kind of anywhere between LaGrange and Georgetown and Austin, kind of in this region up here. So what you see on the map is really the threat area for the whole day, going all the way into the overnight hours, and that's where we kind of think that kind of severe weather threat may stretch all the way down to San Antonio and even sort of Pleasanton. So kind of 2 waves. The first wave will kind of be early this afternoon and evening, and then there may be actually kind of a lull, and then the wider sort of severe weather chance may actually kind of happen in that 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. Tuesday morning sort of time frame. Really not expecting anything on the far right here as far as excessive rainfall, primarily any sort of heavier sort of showers and thunderstorms, again, like we think is may be developing mainly to the north and northeast of our region. So what about temperatures today? A high temperature map on the left, mainly 70s and 80s. This abundant cloud cover may keep temperatures down just a tad. And what that means also is that during eclipse time, we'll probably have about a 3 to 6 degree drop in that one particular hour, especially between 1 and 2 p.m. On the right-hand side are the morning lows expected tonight and early Tuesday morning. Still kind of soupy, still pretty humid outside, kind of in the mid to upper 60s and maybe even the 70s down to our coastal plains. Total sky cover forecast, not good for eclipse viewing. You can see mainly kind of 70, 80% coverage, we think, across the entire region. I'll kind of get in some details over the next couple of slides, but mostly cloudy conditions are expected for the rest of today. So when we break down kind of low clouds versus high clouds, I know over the webinars the last several days we've kind of talked about the differences. Really, really thick low clouds, not good for eclipse viewing. High clouds, however, can be pretty translucent to where maybe you can still see something. So what we actually have here are forecasts of just low clouds. And you can see 10 a.m., we're expecting very, very high percentages of low clouds across the whole region. As we get into 1 p.m., there are some areas where we think that some of these may break slightly. And we kind of see this on any sort of normally given spring day, where there's some breaks of the clouds. That's really hard to forecast where those breaks are going to be. But in kind of typical spring fashion, we do think that as the afternoon progresses and maybe even some of those showers start to pop up, we may get some thinning or some breaks in the low overcast skies that are kind of hampering us kind of right now. The best chances of that would be along the Rio Grande Plains, along the Rio Grande, as well as portions of the northern hill country. Now, as far as high clouds, the high cloud chances actually increase during the day. You can see between the left and the right, 10 a.m. versus 1 p.m., the chances and the probabilities here of 60 and 70% kind of increase widespread into the 80 and 90% by 1 p.m. So you'll kind of see that on some of the satellite images where we have a lot of streaming high clouds coming in from the southwest. And so that will just, that's forecast to actually stay or increase during the day today. So what that means, we've kind of been showing these pictures, depending on the type of cloud and the thickness of the cloud will honestly depend on what kind of eclipse viewing you may have today. If we have some of these kind of breaks here and there, then if you keep your fingers crossed, we actually can maybe see something. But if the thicker high clouds in the middle and the really, really thick low clouds remain on the far right here, it's going to unfortunately be very, very poor eclipse viewing for today. Okay, as we get into late tonight and mainly the day tomorrow, some things are going to be happening where we're a little bit more concerned, especially with the egress and the folks kind of leaving and still kind of sticking around for Tuesday. The upper level storm system and cold front will actually be approaching, and this will actually get us our best chances of rain and our best chances for severe weather. Low confidence on timing and exact location right now, but it does look like we'll probably have 2 rounds, probably 1 round of thunderstorms probably lingering or still remaining in the morning hours. And then for the afternoon and evening, the main kind of punch of severe storms will likely form as the main upper level storm system and approaching cold front all kind of come our general direction. And because of that, the Storm Prediction Center has actually issued now a level 3 out of 5. I have the numbers wrong. I'm going to fix this before I send these out. This area up here in the pink is actually the enhanced risk, or the level 3 out of 5. And so that's, typically meaning scattered to numerous storms, especially in the afternoon and evening hours, with large hail being the primary risk. But of course, even if as we get into these level 3 of 5 areas, the isolated tornado risk goes up as well. So, and then with that also, we actually have a enhanced kind of excessive rainfall outlook with a slight risk just off to our northeast. But then again, every one of these severe thunderstorms can produce quite a bit of rainfall in a short amount of time. So we will have to watch that. But as of right now, the severe risk is what we're really kind of concentrating on. Lingering effects on Wednesday. As the storm system kind of pushes through the state, we may get some kind of wraparound sort of moisture coming into the area, but overall rain chances will be kind of going down on Wednesday. So we don't think we're going to have a lot of lingering problems by Wednesday, but the rain chances will still kind of keep around, especially the northern areas. And you can kind of see this for the Storm Prediction Center, the severe potential as it's exiting off to our east. You can kind of see our far eastern areas around LaGrange are still going to be in a marginal risk or a level 1 out of 5 for severe weather. But we think, again, that's mainly going to be in the morning hours on Wednesday morning. Maybe a bigger impact will actually be the breezy conditions and I would say windy conditions by Wednesday afternoon after the front pushes through. So we actually may have to issue some sort of like wind advisory or something on Wednesday. So be aware of that, especially if there's still a lot of tents around from events, etc. We continue to highlight these forecast point websites from the National Weather Service. As you click on the QR code, you will get to the national site, which is defaulted in Duluth, Minnesota. So make sure you kind of move the cursor and get to the point where you would like to see our hourly forecast for the rest of today and into tomorrow. We have already made some QR codes for different areas, especially out west, areas in the Hill Country, and then also along the Interstate 35 corridor. Again, these will be on the slide so you can actually get the QR codes there. But it's a great way, even outside of this Eclipse event, just on a daily basis of checking the forecast. This is a great way of keeping track of our official National Weather Service forecast in hourly increments. We are going to be posting a lot of stuff on our kind of ways of getting stuff information out to our partners, especially like on our Slack channel, etc. But if you'd like to kind of follow the satellite images today, here's a QR code and a great website to follow, as well as radar for later this afternoon, when the radar we think is going to be getting a little bit more active. So again, the plan for today, Eclipse Day, this is the last webinar. For our core partners, we're going to be posting probably at least hourly sort of updates on our Slack channel on cloud cover, rain, storms, and any sort of impactful weather conditions. For our core partners as well, we are going to be opening up a Google Meet between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. today. You can see the Google Meet link there on the screen. This Google Meet link will also be on our email that we send out with the recording of this webinar, as well as the slides. It is not for the general public, so do not hand it out. This is for you to go back and forth with us very, very quickly. We'll have it up. All you have to do is get on the Google Meet and get our attention, and you can ask us a question. We'll show you, the latest information, etc. So between the Slack channel and this open Google Meet, hopefully this is a great way of communicating today. If you have issues or you want to just get clarification on the forecast or cloud cover, thunderstorms, whatever it may be. And of course, we're also available by old-fashioned phone and by email during the day and during this entire event as well. So in summary, mostly cloudy conditions today. Again, high rain chances, mainly increasing as you go north and northeast. We're hopeful that some patchy breaks and some low clouds are possible. The high clouds look to be streaming overhead most of the day. So it doesn't look ideal, obviously, for Eclipse. But we're hopeful that maybe somebody will be able to see something if the break happens just around eclipse time. There is the potential for severe weather, again, mainly kind of after eclipse time and across our farther north areas. The bigger issue for tomorrow will be the severe weather chances. We're still going to try to refine this forecast even better today, and updates will come out on our typical situation reports out to our partner list later this afternoon. And then you finally see our confidence levels. We're never really high on where storms are actually going to form. So we kind of still have a low confidence on that, but better kind of confidence tomorrow as the main storm system will come through. And we do think that our severe weather chances will be going up dramatically for tomorrow, especially. So again, just to sum it up and to get some final website address, phone number, our email, and of course you can follow us on social media as well. This is the last webinar for this event, but we will continue to forecast and to update you core partners, especially with our situation reports that come out with our typical sort of heads up emails that we send out. So with that, I can take some questions. If you have the questions, please type in to the questions feature. What is the forecasted time that the eclipse will move fully out of Texas? I haven't checked far northeast Texas. I know that basically totality is right around anywhere between about what 1:30 to 1:40 p.m. The total eclipse happens, right? The eclipse from beginning to end, the partials are it's about a 3-hour window. So the totality is moving at 1,500 miles an hour. So it's going to be out of Texas really, really quick by 2 o'clock, definitely. But the the partially part of the eclipse is going to be lasting all the way up to, I guess, I think 3 o'clock. You'd have to kind of look at some of those websites that have the exact times. I've been concentrating honestly on the weather stuff, so I don't have all the times right in front of me. But we have a great website on the top of our headlines where you can basically go to that website and you can then type in or look at the location on a map and get all those times that you're talking about, Chuck. But by 3 o'clock, primarily everything should be eclipse-wise is kind of really winding down. Any other questions? Please type them into the questions area. I'll give everybody about another 15 seconds, 20 seconds to do that before we sign off. And seeing nothing, again, watch for us on our Slack channel. Again, you can ask questions on our Google Meet, and hopefully between those two, we can keep everybody well informed for the rest of the day. Good luck, everybody, with the severe weather, and good luck with the crowds and the eclipse day. So thank you guys for attending all these briefings.